everybody. It's Daphne with Lore Entertainment. We are sitting down on the director's corner. We have Steve Wollet back on with us. This time he's not doing interviews with soldiers. He is joining us here for the director's corner to let us know what kind of trouble this man has been into. What have you been into, Steve?
I've just been traveling the world lately and preparing for a couple of films, and we're going to dig into that, I assume.
Yeah. Well, hell yeah, we're going to dig into that. So, what you got going on?
Well, let's see. I'm working on a movie that we'll be shooting in about 6 weeks called Giggles. It's about a young child that is murdering people and framing the adults in the child's life. It's going to be a kind of a dramatic comedy.
Giggles. I don't think them people are going to be giggling when they're murdered.
No, no, but the kid will be giggling all through the movie.
I'm not gonna invite that little fucker to my house.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah, we the film is it's kind of strange. I've never done a film where you had a single character appear in every scene. And this kid who has no lines, the kid's only line is to giggle, is
Really?
in every scene of this film. It's
He
going to be
no
very strange. No lines.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
How in the hell did the script get written where this kid has not one line just laughing?
So it's all going to come down to body acting. The kid's going to have to be able to project emotions and be able to demonstrate like what he's thinking through what his face is showing. And I think we have a really good kid for this. We haven't settled yet because we're still in the casting.
Yeah.
But there's a young girl that applied. I just got her audition what 2 days ago, and I think she's perfect for it. But I'm holding off until we finish the full casting to make sure someone better doesn't come along. My original thought on this was to make this child. We're going to dress this child up in like coveralls and kind of look like Chucky. Okay. And my thought was to get a child that was a redhead with dimples and freckles. Well, I can't find one. I mean, I've been looking everywhere for months to find a child that can act that has this look. And I just haven't been successful. So we decided to just go with a cute kid. It could be a boy or a girl.
Mhm.
And as long as the kid can do physical acting versus verbal acting.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different skill set.
That's an important skill set because
Yes.
I mean, even in our industry, it's more body language and emotion versus the words, because if you can do more with your body than the words at that point, you get half the lines right, it's all in your acting, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
That's just
So
missing.
essentially what we're oh, sorry.
Oh,
I cut you off.
you're fine. So the kid, I mean, where have you put the casting calls out at?
My partner has been handling most of that. I don't handle the casting. I just take a look at it to say yay or nay if I want to do an interview based on what they're sending us.
Yeah. So where are you filming? What city?
We're filming near South Hill, Virginia, the Lake Gaston area, if you're familiar with it. And we're doing, I believe, 3 locations. Majority of the film is taking place in the home where this child is going to be going to live as a foster child. And it's going to be a lot of fun as we start delving into this child's mental illness and how the family reacts around the child. It's going to create some really interesting dynamics that I mean, think about it. If some young child in your life was totally innocent as far as you're concerned, but a bunch of people are dying around you, you would never suspect this kid.
I think at some point I'd have to start suspecting that kid.
And that's probably when it's too late, right?
I mean, there's only so many times, when
Yeah.
things start pointing into that direction where you're gonna have to say, yeah, well, something might not be right with this kid.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And one of the things that's really cool with the story takes place over the course of 2 weeks. It's a very compact story. But my goal with this is to set this up as a prequel for a film that we're planning next year, which will be following the same character, but as an adult.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of good movies coming out. I mean, as far as like kids are concerned, because well, I mean, there's some that have already been released. Like The Omen, they had the little boy, and then
Hmm.
they had the Megan, that Megan show that was about that robot doll, but still it involved that little girl, and
Yes.
like look at The Exorcist that had the little girl in the beginning. And even the I think it was the second, what was it? The oh my god, my mind's a blank. Oh, The Conjuring. The Conjuring, when the kids were there. I think the second one
Yes.
was out in England, I believe. UK. I believe that's where the second
That
one.
is correct.
Yeah. And I mean, they're putting out some good movies with these kids,
That
I'm telling you.
most definitely. Well, what actually inspired me for writing this one was I was watching a show on Netflix called Little Evil,
Mhm.
and that was about a kid that's the Antichrist and being raised by a family and discovering that he has the choice to be the Antichrist or not. And it's really was a fun movie.
Yeah. There's a couple movies that I've been wanting to watch, but I haven't had the chance. I've been so tied up. I need to start watching some more movies. I really do. Need to take a
That's one of the greatest advantages of traveling is the airplanes these days for these long flights have little screens and you can watch movies, and a lot of times they have the stuff that's currently in theaters. I tell you, traveling to Thailand and back, I think I went through 8 movies.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long of a flight is that?
The first time it took me 23 hours. The second time was 27. That's
Holy
including layovers.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I know I was talking about taking my daughter on vacation to first I was looking at going to the Maldives, right? So that was I think it was 20 something hours and she's never been on an airplane before and I've been on one since God, since I was like 13 off and on my whole life. And I'm used to flying. But then I got looking at Santorini and I was looking at Santorini and it was like 31 hours. And I'm like, do I really want to do that to her? Put her on a flight for that long, her first time up in the air. Me, I could do it. Her, on the other hand, I don't think that would go over well. So I told her, I was like, maybe we'll do a cruise first. And
Right, right.
we'll work our way with the airplanes with you.
I have learned when I travel, I got my doctor to prescribe Valium for me, and I just take a Valium when I get on the plane, and I'm just totally chill. I just lay back, I relax.
It doesn't bother me. When I was young, I've never got well, I was never afraid ever of flying, but when I'm older, usually either I'm really tired when I'm already there because sometimes you got to get there real early or then or I'll drink before I get there
Right, right.
or at the airport bar because what else? I'm going on vacation. I might as well get started, you know what I mean? So
I hear you. I've spent a lot of time in airport bars, and it's what I've noticed, unfortunately, is as I'm getting older, I don't enjoy alcohol as much as I used to.
I don't either really anymore. But at the airport, yeah, you bet I will drink at least a couple before
Yeah.
but that's just because I wanna fall asleep because some of these planes anymore are just friggin' loud, you know?
Yes.
And it's just I'd rather just fall asleep, go to sleep.
Right. Right. Yeah. So let me see. The other project I'm working on is called Heading West.
Mhm.
It's a film that we're going to be filming next spring in the Canary Islands, and we're in negotiation with Danny Trejo, Nicolas Cage, um, Dave Sheridan, Felissa Rose, a variety of other people. I'm sure your audience knows at least a couple of those names.
Everybody knows Danny. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, he's my hero.
Everybody knows Danny. From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes. And if assuming that both Danny and Nicholas agree to this, their agents seem very interested, so I'm hoping they will both be playing bad guys together as a team, and that's going to be kind of fun to see.
Yeah. Nicholas, didn't he just do a movie? I heard that he just wrapped a movie recently.
I don't know. That man is making so many movies lately, I can't keep track.
Good. He disappeared for a long ass time.
Yeah,
He disappears and then poof, reappears.
right. He made a huge comeback, that's for sure.
That was like one of my favorites is fixing this damn belt. It's getting on my nerves. Um Keanu. I love
Mhm.
Keanu because that man is really down to earth. Like he is really down to earth and he just
Yes.
for a long time until the John Wick movies. One of my favorite movies by him though was always Point Break. I
Point
love
Break was good. Yeah,
Point Break. That was an awesome movie. It was.
right.
I
For
don't
for me, the John Wick movie sold me on him. I
Oh,
always
I love John
kind of
Wick
liked
too.
him as an actor, but I always thought he was kind of wooden.
Yeah.
But John Wick, I don't know what happened. It seemed like he came out of his shell finally.
Life. Life happened.
Yeah.
Took that rage and channeled it into that character. That man's been through a lot of shit.
Yes, he has.
If a lot of people actually knew all the shit that man has been through,
Yep.
would have a different
Well,
opinion.
being a Buddhist has probably taught him to relax and just accept life,
Yeah.
and something we could all learn from.
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked him. And then, I mean, the stories you hear that are true, like with him taking public transportation because he's humble. He's normal.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
not, I mean, there are a lot of people that aren't. I am, I'm not at his status, I don't think, but I mean, still, I'm normal. You're normal. Everybody, that I've talked to are normal. But then you've got people that aren't, and that man taking a subway, signing over his paychecks, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's stuff like that that he does. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that never in a million years do that at all.
We could all learn from good people to be better people ourselves.
Right. Right. They need to take a scene out of his book is what they need to do. Seriously. That's the way I feel about some of them. Some people, not all people, just some, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I've noticed as I've gotten older, I've gained a lot less tolerance for the world around me. And I try my best to continue to have tolerance. But there's so much craziness out there these days in the workplace and beyond that it's become difficult to maintain my core principles in all aspects.
Mhm. Yep, I knew that feeling. I've had my little I wouldn't say outbursts, but there are things that when we're talking in these interviews and we'll get on a subject and it it's a trigger because like one thing for me it's stupidity. That's huge. Huge
Yep.
to me, huge. And dumb questions, that's another thing, especially when they know the answers to these damn questions, and then they still ask stupid questions. And then just I don't know, it's certain things just set me off, like we were talking, it was one of the say I think it was the writer's block segment, and I called the governor a fucking idiot. Not for here, but this one isn't no better, but I mean, in, South Carolina, I believe that's what state that was. But you got somebody putting hands without putting guns in people's hands, which don't get me wrong, I'm not against carrying guns. I'm not against the right to carry. I am against giving kids that are dumb as hell, you know, guns without any kind of background check, without any kind of exam, anything. I'm against that. And any governor, mayor, I don't care what you do in the government that does that, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, you are. You don't need to be in the office. Bye bye. you know?
I hear you. I hear you. I'm not going to give my opinions on the matter, but I'll respect yours.
Well, I mean, that don't make me political. That just that's just being real, and that's for
Yes,
any member, Democrat, Republican, I don't care which party you are, if
right.
you're not stupid, you just don't need to be
Yeah. Well,
there.
I read an interesting article. It was put out by Mensa, and they were talking about average IQs in countries. And they
Mhm.
said that in the United States, the average IQ in 1970 was 101. The average IQ in 2020 in the US was 91. 10-point difference in IQ is four times the intelligence. So it's saying that Americans are only 25% as smart as they used to be. Is that background noise messing up the sound?
No,
Okay, just want to make sure.
no.
Um, so uh, then they started looking at other aspects of the world, and they found like the average IQ in Europe right now is 98. The average IQ in Asia is 104. The average IQ of an American politician, the dumbest people that we look at, is 112. Well, that explains why they're able to control the country so well, because most of America is 16 times dumber than they are.
That's
Yeah, it's terrifying. It really is.
that is that is, I mean, oh gosh, that wow.
Yeah.
Somebody
So I try my best though to avoid the politics of it all because my opinions are pretty strong, and I don't want them to get me shut down in some way on a
yeah,
project that I'm working on.
wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot
So,
of things. I mean, especially when you run numbers on people.
yes. Yes. Most definitely. Yeah. And I don't know, dude. I use TikTok myself. I enjoy it. It's a form of entertainment. I'll watch TikTok for probably half an hour to an hour every day, just to waste time. you know?
You're a TikTok
And I
person.
look at the stupidity that I see on TikTok. It just amazes me.
Okay. Don't you just love that? I'm telling you.
Yeah,
No, when you pick up the background noise and you gotta do away with it, and then, it's just like it's so annoying. And then
I completely agree. That's what is my concern with the guy running the chainsaw over there and the guy running the power washer over there. I was afraid you might be able to hear that.
No, I actually can't hear anything. No, I was listening. I told my daughter, they have like 2 hours of school left. So they were off today, and then they have to go tomorrow for an exam, then they go again the next day, and then they're done for the year. But
Okay.
she has a friend over here, and I told her she knows when I do these interviews that I need complete silence. I need silence. And usually that's why I try to get these done between a certain time where nobody's here. And so I didn't expect her to be here today. And she's got a friend here too. And I told her to go downstairs before I even started, and she did not. And they were quiet. And then the friend came back up, and then they started being loud. And I had to stop the interview. That way, there, I can get them downstairs where they were supposed to be to begin with. So,
It's
yeah.
the joy of children.
I'm like a man without a country in this house. I'm telling you. I mean, it's so wondering how I even get anything done because I have the grandbabies, the daughter, the other daughter, her friends, you know what I mean? And oh my God. It's just,
I hear you. I
I'm a man
hear you.
without a country.
Right.
I
I
pulled
I
off
feel the same way when I'm with my family, so I understand.
yeah, but you can run and hide. I don't like whenever I make a room as far as for a studio for myself,
Right.
take it over. So it's just like I really don't have it like where I can go and hide. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I get that.
It's irritating, I'm telling you.
Well, I tell you, my business partner, Michelle Brown Houston, she has been talking about building like a little she shed out in her yard so that
Mhm.
she can run and hide, and soundproofing the whole thing so she can also use it as a studio. And I think that's a great idea, and I might take up the her advice and do the same thing with my new house.
Mhm. Well, that's what I'm gonna do when the pool goes up. I've already been looking at those, what are they called? Those little fabricated small, like they call them small little houses, but it would be
Mhm.
like a pool house type thing, but I'm gonna turn it into a studio. That way there I'm away from everybody because
Okay.
this isn't working. And I'm not trying to relocate the business right now because with traveling to get to sets or all of that, there's no point. There's no point in, using a commercial property right now.
Right.
There's just no
Right. I
point,
understand.
especially traveling and stuff like that. There's no point. Why?
Right.
Just extra bills, you know?
It is, and with prices going up the way they are, inflation being as bad as it is, we all have to be a little more frugal.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't see no point. Like I I've looked, don't get me wrong, because I've had those days where I just wanted to go ahead and just get it. But then I get thinking, I'm like, why would I do that when I just go there, you know, and end up leaving anyway, turn around and leave, and then I'm shelling out extra money for everything there.
Right.
I could just,
Yeah, that's I'm going through the whole shelling out extra money thing myself. My house burned down last summer. I'm living in an Airbnb right now, and I mean, this place is wonderful. I love it. But the insurance money's run out, so now I'm just blowing money while I wait for the new house to be built.
how long do you have before it's built?
They told me July 1st, but I'm looking at the work and the speed they're doing, and I have serious doubts that they will succeed. But I need them to succeed because we're using the new house for the set of the movie we're filming in July.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's a brand new house. Why not use it as a set before I move into it, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I just went through the whole remodel thing with the kitchen down there, and I tell you what, those contractors, like I told you, wasn't moving fast enough for me, buddy. And I just, because I was a contractor before I got into the film industry, I ran a business for 13 years. I had to flip that switch right back over to contractor mode just to get them out,
Yes.
because it was too much. It took a month out of my life. I couldn't do interviews. And that's why people, there was no interviews coming up for a month,
Right, right.
because
Yeah, well,
it's kind of impossible.
you do what you have to do. You
Oh, I
know, each of us have our strengths and weaknesses. And when you have a strength and someone else is showing weakness, you step up and let your strength shine.
oh, I did.
Yeah.
Every I ran circles. Mean, I did that business for 13 years. I had an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. I ran it every day. I was working, I don't know, 8 to 12-hour days, sometimes 15-hour days, just doing that job.
Okay. Okay.
So I can run laps around somebody as far as contracting.
Right.
Well,
No,
yeah.
with me, I'm bouncing around so much with these projects that I rarely have time for myself to focus on the things that need to be done in my home and my life in general. It's and then while I'm bouncing around, you run into these experiences every now and then that make you really just sit back and question why are you doing it, you know? I was in Turkey, Istanbul. I was coming home from Thailand, and I got a text message that my flight had been canceled. And I'm like, well, what the hell am I going to do? I'm in Turkey, you know? And about half an hour later, I got a text that my flight was back on. And I was like, well, what's going on here? But I had to go to a different part of the airport. Went through security, got out into the main airport, went over to the international part in a different area, back in, another security check. I get to the airplane, and they have every single passenger lined up, and they're doing full body searches, going through all of their bags. If you had stuff like I had tins of cookies, they were taking a razor and slicing them open to check the interior of the packaging. I mean, it was crazy. And we get on the plane, and nobody's explaining why the security's so high. And the plane takes off, and then the stewardess, I hear her talking to one of the other passengers, is saying, "Oh, they found a explosive device on one of the planes, and that's why the plane got changed."
Oh, yeah, see, that's what I was thinking as soon as you said that. I
Yeah.
mean, full body search everybody. Yeah,
Yes.
it had to be something like that.
Right, and I'm flying first class, and I got the quick pass stuff so I can get through security, you know? I never really get searched anymore. It was very surprising.
Yeah. Hey, it's better to be safe than sorry.
That's true, I'd rather them search me than be blown up.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm glad they're still doing their job, especially after all the 9/11 shit that happened. They
Yeah.
need to be on top of that. And
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that, absolutely.
just
I'm
like,
I'm not a big fan of the way they do security. I think that they've really dropped the ball on the way they've done it and that they're stripping us of rights. But I also want to fly safe, and it's kind of trying to find the balance between the two. And I don't think they've quite got that balance yet. They still are leaning one way or the other. You pass through some airports, there's no security at all. You pass through other airports, and the security is so tight, it seems like insanity.
yeah, some of it's a hiring thing.
Yeah,
They don't have people that want to work. And that's a lot of places. It's a hiring issue, is what that is. They'll have, certain states, even that's anywhere anymore. It's not just there, or training programs. They don't get the funds in to be able to run them training programs for the security, for the
right,
people. And another thing, like the marshals, the air marshals, that's another thing. All them people going crazy on them planes, they shouldn't be allowed on airplanes pulling that kind of shit on in the air. You know,
right,
if they do that up in the air, thinking that there are no consequences to their actions for pulling that shit in the air, then they do not need to fly at all. I have no
right.
for people like that. You don't start shit in the air.
I
Everybody
I agree with you.
safe.
Yeah.
It's just the stuff I've been seeing, the videos I sit there and see, I'm just like, why? Why are you guys doing this? Seriously? You know,
Most of the crazy stuff I've seen on planes has been politically motivated. It's
it's
not even about a real issue. It's somebody's wearing a hat they don't like, or somebody's wearing a T-shirt they don't like.
yeah. And I mean, who the hell cares? You're on a freaking
Right.
airplane. You're going on vacation. Have a drink. Shut up.
Yeah.
Who cares who's voting for who? Who cares? You should be more
Right.
worried about that damn plane crashing. You know?
Look, I live my life by the golden rule. Do no harm. You know, if I'm not going to do anything bad to you, I expect you to do nothing bad to me. But I'm also Gen X. You do something bad to me, I'm going to bring it to you hard.
I'm telling I just wish more people just need to start minding their damn, just mind their business. I mean,
Yeah.
they'd find out they'd be a lot more happier if they did. You know,
Right.
stay in your lane, leave people alone.
Yes.
Who cares what
There's a country in Liberland called Liberland over in Europe. Their motto is "Live and let live," and I think it's one of the greatest mottos that a country could have.
right? That makes me want to go hang out with them.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. It's small, but it is a very cool place, nestled right between Serbia and Croatia.
Hey, Croatia, there you go. Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
might go. Hey, I'm coming to hang out with you guys. I don't know how long of a flight that is, but I am on my way.
Oh my God, Croatia is so beautiful, and if you like the water, you can
I love
go and take you can hire a private yacht with a private cook and a private crew that takes care of every need to take you anywhere you want to go. And you can go visit like the places where they filmed Game of Thrones. You can go visit these old ruins and every day be visiting some new historical place with all of your cares taken care of for very little money. It is amazing over there.
See, here's the thing. I wouldn't wanna come back.
I never do want to come back.
I would just get and be like, "Drive.
Right.
Just keep going."
If if I could find a way to sustain my income while in countries like that, I probably would stay in those countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I've tried, I'm more well, the dual citizenship. I think did I tell you about that?
I'm not sure.
about the dual citizenship for Italy. I wanted to get
Oh,
citizenship for Italy. Yeah,
because you have, within a couple generations ago, your family was from Italy?
yeah,
Okay,
Italy. Yeah, and I mean the family bloodline's Italian, Indian. Basically, I'm Indian and Italian on one side and then Italian. And it's weird the way that worked because it's like Italian, Indian, Italian, Indian. It's so weird the way that worked.
now
And
when
it's
you say
different types of
when you
Indians
s
that hated each other too. That's weird. Oh, and I finally remembered also it was Apache and now I'm gonna forget again. Oh my God. Cherokee. I was
okay,
trying to tell you that one day and I forgot. It was Apache and Cherokee because
so we might be related.
they didn't like each other. And I'm like, I'm both
Right,
types of Indian, but I know they didn't like each other, and I could not for the life of me remember Apache, and it was
right.
Apache and
So
Cherokee.
so the Cherokee are an East Coast tribe, the Apaches were a Texas tribe.
Yeah,
My family was Cherokee. I have Cherokee and, Comanche in my background,
yeah.
and the Comanche was like the blood enemies of the Apache.
Mm,
But there was a lot of, interbreeding between the 2 cultures because women getting kidnapped and taken back to be wives by both of them.
yep. I am
Yeah.
different things: Italian, Indian, and I mean Italian and Cherokee and Apache. I'm a mean combination of woman. I'm just mean.
Well, you don't seem mean to me. We've had a
Sometimes
number
I
of
can
good
be mean
conversations.
when need be. I can be mean.
Yes,
I've got that switch. I
I
always
hear
call
you.
it the bitch switch. Quit
You
pushing.
know,
Don't push the
no, having a bitch switch is a good thing.
Mm,
Serious. You don't want to be a pushover. You want to be able to defend yourself. You want to be able to take control when necessary.
yeah. Yeah, I told you. Especially the conversation we had what was it the other day about Google.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it since we're actually doing this interview. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. That way there'll be less confused people since if they're gonna watch this interview. All right,
Okay.
guys, we were on the phone the other day and I was telling him about something that I had noticed on Google when I'd entered my name into it because every once in a while I like to find out what is written about me out there. And in the beginning, a long time ago, when Google decided they actually wanted to put something up about me, there is a woman out there who writes books. Her name is Daphne Matthews. She is in the BDM or BDSM community. And there is another little cute girl who is a track star out there. Her name is Daphne Matthews, also, and she is adorable. But here's the thing, they mixed up all three of our information in the beginning and had all of our stuff linked together. So it made it look like not only was I an actor, but I was big in the BDMS, the community anyway. We'll just leave it there. So I had to get a hold of Google and tell them that they needed to switch that because I was not trying to lose jobs because people were thinking that I was into some 50 shades of gray and beyond type shit. So they finally fixed it. And now the woman also, I do want to make this clear. I don't know if it's the same woman or if it's another woman out there using the name Daphne Matthews, but there is something on Pornhub. That is not me. It's not me. Okay. I'm not the woman that does the BDM or BDSM, and I'm not the chick on Pornhub. The police. Don't go there thinking that shit is me. And don't contact me asking me about it because it's not me. I just want to make this shit clear now.
Right. Right. No, you need to. Absolutely.
And if they're going to use
And it's funny.
they better cut me in for some money just for using my damn name. I'm entitled
Yeah.
to 10% of the profit.
Messed up names is it can be very humorous, but it can also be very devastating.
But that's my real damn name.
Yeah.
I was born
I
with
get
a
that.
damn name because my dad had the hots for the girl from the Dark Shadows friggin' movie. That's how I
Okay.
ended up getting named Daphne.
Okay.
He
Fair
had the
enough.
hots for that girl, and that's
I
how
like Dark Shadows myself.
seriously. It's just so funny when I told you that, and I didn't even know what it meant. I had to friggin' Google it. Like, I don't know. 'Cause I
Mm,
thought it had something to do with the contracting from when I was contracting in the apartments association
okay.
stuff. So I'm like, "Okay, BDSM, okay, well, maybe that means the complex, because it didn't even dawn on me. So when I Google it, and then I'm reading it, I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? I'm like, "I didn't even know what
Right.
it." And then my buddy Kevin, he starts making fun of me because I didn't know what it meant. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know." You know what I mean? What the hell?
Well, it just means that now when you do your interviews, you have to wear a spike collar and come in with a whip, you know, and maybe have some guy in the background there that you can spank every now and then.
Oh my god, when I read that, I about fell over, cause, and then when I started looking that one day, I was like, "Oh god, there's somebody on there doing porn." I just
Right.
Oh, Lord have mercy, I'm telling you.
That is funny.
I'm like, "I hope these people think it's not me."
I I did a movie a few years back during COVID called Jack Be Nimble. I've mentioned this to you before, but I recently found out that someone in Russia stole my movie and redid the entire soundtrack.
Seriously?
Yeah, the entire soundtrack in Russian, of voice actors all the way through the whole thing, and it's a totally different story.
Really?
Yeah,
What, did you get a hold of them?
I've been trying to. I've been having difficulty because of the conflict with the U.S. and Russia right now. Trying to do business transactions and dealing with the Russian government is very difficult right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know what? That happened to one of my artists that I manage, actually. His
Okay.
music, somebody took one of his songs and actually used the song, the music and everything, and
Okay.
then redid his stuff. And I told him, I was like, "I don't even know how in the hell, as far as copywriting, that we would be able to approach this, not being able to locate this guy, you
Yeah.
know, and how it would even work with this guy being over there, because really he used some of the beats, but that song I don't think was copywritten at the time, or maybe it was copywritten.
Okay. The minute that you publish something, it's copyright.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. But how are you gonna find somebody like that?
So I've been able to track down the company that did it. I know who did it, but because they're a Russian company and because of the conflict, Russia is not honoring the international concord that they have with the United States with regards to copyright. They really haven't been honoring it anyway for decades, but I don't have legal recourse in the United States to do anything. And the international courts don't really care unless you have lots of money.
Oh,
So it just is kind of a thing. I'm kind of looking at it as a win because it's more people seeing my work.
publicity.
Okay, that's good, but it's a loss because if they're making money on it, that's money that I could have been making, and that the people attached to my film could have been making.
That's true.
Yeah,
But, I mean, as hard as Russia's getting hit with them sanctions, I doubt they're making much, you know?
right.
So,
Well, actually, Russia's economy is doing almost 3 times better than the U.S. economy.
that's shocking.
Yeah, we if you watch the news, if you travel when you travel outside of the US and you watch the news,
Mm.
Russia's economy is blooming. Their grocery stores are filled, their prices are low, their people are generally happy. But then you come to the US and you watch the news about it, and it all sounds like a horror story over there. We are not getting the truth about what's happening in these other countries.
Not
And it's
getting
only when you
about
start
it
traveling that you get to
anywhere.
see it.
I mean, that's pretty much anywhere. It just like their countries don't get the truth about other shit, like their own
Right.
country didn't get the truth about Ukraine,
Correct.
you know?
Correct.
People just put out whatever the hell they want to.
Yeah.
And that's why I like what I do with these segments right here, because they're not going to edit anything I get out, period. It doesn't matter. It's going through all these other channels. It's going to be going to Apple TV this week. I've already
Okay.
got it to launch. All I got to do is hit the button, you know, but
Right.
I'm not editing anything, and this is worldwide, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm not gonna edit anything, and the truth will be out there one way or another. And
Right.
whoever hears it, hears it. Doesn't matter
Yes.
what country it's in. What it, you know?
I forget the name of the law. We used to have a law in the United States that said that the news could only report facts. They couldn't report opinion unless they said it was opinion, like a commentary at the end of the news. Okay. When President Obama was in office, he signed that law was overturned, and that's when the U.S. news went from factual to almost entirely opinion based.
Mm.
It's very difficult to get the truth in the US about what's happening anywhere in the world.
Well, they also have, and I know this from running lore because with it being a press, well, how I have lore entertainment productions, then I have lore entertainment media and press, and then I've
Mhm.
got the press pass, and it's a United States press pass, okay? And they've got the freedom. There's even another corporation or another portion, not corporation, portion of it well, it allows press. One, you can be sucked into the mainstream media, or
Right.
you still have your right, freedom of press to tell the
Yes.
story, which is the actual facts. Now, a lot of these people don't want to do that. They'll get sucked in from the paydays they're getting for mainstream media, of course, because you've got the big people out there paying their paychecks. Where
Right.
you've got people like me that are forming all these networks. There's a big network growing that a lot of people are not completely aware of yet about people like me as far as press. And we're gonna put that truth out there. And
Yes, absolutely.
quick
I
it
I work
who gets pissed? We don't care. We don't care.
right.
Freedom of press.
I worked as a journalist myself for quite a while, and I still have an active press pass. Not that I work in that industry anymore. I believe that news should be about presenting facts,
Right.
and if you want to give an opinion, you should make it very clear. Well, here's the facts, but in my opinion, we should be doing A, B, and C, And we don't really get that except in the independent world, like me and you.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's what I put it in the ending credits. You
Yeah,
know, if anybody ever reads those ending credits that comes up the way it is, I do not edit this because people are, fearful of being ridiculed. People are not going to get ridiculed. This is not mainstream media, you know, and it's all in there, all in that credit on every single segment. And I make sure that's in there. These are our
excellent,
stories,
excellent.
these are our thoughts, these are our opinions. And, it is facts that we do put out. We do put out facts, you know, in
Right.
everything that we bring out, whether it's military or whether it's, director, film industry, entertainment business. It doesn't matter, stunt world. Everything we're putting out there is fact. All the information we're giving, fact. We've done, we know what the hell we're talking about. So I like doing it this way because it's just a lot better, People actually know the
Yes,
difference
yeah,
instead of saying, oh, well, somebody there with a paycheck, you know. Like, you know,
I hear you. I hear
I'm
you.
not that person.
Right.
I could never do that. I'm too honest. I'm brutally honest. Brutally honest.
Okay.
I don't care who I make mad. And it's just because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm brutally honest.
Right.
I have to I have to tell truth. And I know it probably will hurt people's feelings sometimes, but I would rather be honest than lie, you know. And I would rather
Right.
be honest with me than lie. Because if you lie to me and I find out you did lie to me, you are gonna
Mhm.
piss me off 10 times worse than had you just told me the truth.
Right. I'm the same way, and that's the way I was raised. You speak candidly. You don't give out more information than you need to. You know, you stick to the point.
Right.
And if someone asks for an opinion, you can give one, but in general, keep your opinions to yourself.
Sometimes. I mean, it's nice
Yeah,
to talk about people's opinions though, because you gotta that's the way you get to know people. You always
true.
you get to know people by different opinions. You learn about people, you learn about thoughts and stuff like that. So you always
Yes, but that's in conversation.
yeah. Yeah.
In conversation, of course, opinions get expressed by both parties or however many parties there are. I'm
Yeah.
talking about in general, like today with this with the Gen Z, the millennial mentality, more Gen Z than millennials. We see where people want to give their opinions on everything, and they want that immediate gratification and feedback that supports that opinion.
Uh,
And if they don't get that, then their emotional state is disrupted,
yeah.
and this is creating some serious problems in our society.
Yeah. You mean the crybabies? And I'll just call it
Yes,
like I see it. I'm sorry. I- if you're gonna sit there and complain and cry about every single little thing, then you're just miserable in your own life, and that's just anybody, and
yes,
that's anybody in general. It doesn't matter what side of the pond you're on. Really, that's the way I feel about it. If you have to sit there and constantly nitpick every single little friggin' thing that happens in life, then guess what? You are a miserable person and you're a
right.
crybaby.
Yeah,
That's
I had a young woman tell me, this was in the past 3 days actually, that all of us Gen Z people need to go back to being deathly afraid to express our opinion. And I'm sitting there thinking, when have I ever been deathly afraid to express anything?
who said that?
Say it again.
Who said that?
It was a young lady on social media. I'm not going to say her name.
Well, you know what I would tell that young lady on social media? That they need to grow the fuck up. Seriously.
I I said something
Because
along those
when you're
lines.
sitting there saying shit like that, I'm gonna tell you what, I guarantee we're a hell of a lot educated more than you are. Believe that. At least we know cursive. You know,
Right.
we can write our name
Yep.
in cursive. We ain't got to use DocuSign. We know how to write our shit. you know,
Yes. And we're
we
not
don't need a
functionally
calculator to do
illiterate.
math. You know,
Right.
don't get me started because I
Yeah.
tell you what, I am Gen Z, and my kids are all millennials, and
Right.
I'll put my kids in their place real quick. Believe that.
I hear you.
And that's just my opinion, but I've got a whole house filled with them 30 down. 30 down. And I will
Right.
speak my mind. I do not give a shit. Don't care.
Yeah, my kids are millennials and my grandkids are Gen Z. And my grandkids, having a conversation with them, half the time I want to pull their teeth out.
Shut
Yeah.
up. Right? I'm telling you what, like, I'll ride my kids' ass. I'm not even gonna lie. Stop acting like entitled little assholes because I'm telling, and this is what I'll say to them: the world doesn't owe you shit. If
Right.
you want something in this life, you better get off your ass and you better work for it because let me tell you something. This world does not owe you a damn thing. Myself as a parent, yes, it is my job to help you out from time to time now that you are grown. But the day you turned 18, you hit that grown mark. It's time to start taking responsibility for the shit that you need to do in life because guess what? Mommy ain't going to be around forever. You know?
Right.
And mommy ain't gonna coddle your ass because I didn't get coddled when I was a kid. And you know what? There's a day and a time where you got to grow the fuck up. And the world doesn't owe you. I don't owe you. You're my kid.
Right.
I love you, but I don't owe you. So don't act
Mhm.
like an entitled little asshole.
Yes.
Because
So,
believe you hit 18, once you hit 18, it's not child abuse anymore.
right.
You know? And I love my kids, but I'll still tell them straight up how the hell it really is, you know?
Absolutely. So my father, he told me something many years ago, and it really stuck with me. He said that he asked me, because I was having an argument with him about rights. I was young. I believed that I had certain rights and that that they were being tampered with. Okay. And I don't even remember what the issue was. But he said, okay, well, you have the right to live. And I was like, yes, of course I have the right to live. And he's like, well, I have the right to live too. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Well, what if we're both on a boat in the middle of the ocean and the only way for one of us to survive is to kill the other one? Which of us has more of a right?
You know what I would have said to that? Thanks for telling me your plan ahead of time because next time we're on a boat.
Well, the point of the matter is that we nobody has rights unless they're willing to fight for them. The only reason we have rights in America is because people fought for those rights and put them in place. If we don't continue to fight for those rights, slowly we're going to lose them all.
Yep,
No one has any rights unless they earn them.
right. Yep. And
Yeah.
that's where our military comes into play. And that's why
Yes.
I love our military. And if some of
Absolutely.
these kids out here would stop acting like entitled assholes and actually make something of their self. I'm not saying all kids, just
Right.
the ones that act like assholes, you know, join the military. You want something in this life? Earn it. Earn it.
Yes.
I've been working since I was 14.
I recommend that everybody join the military for at least a couple of years when they're young because it one you get a lot of benefits out of it financially. When your time's done, it'll help pay for school. If you serve long enough, you'll get health benefits. But put those things aside. The thing where the military helped me the most was it gave me direction. When I joined the military, I was on the path of becoming a really bad person.
Yep.
It was I had a lot of bad experiences back to back, back to back, back to back, and the military, they knocked the shit out of me. I mean,
They
excuse the
will.
language, but they knocked the shit out of
It's
me
called
and they
smoking you.
straightened me up.
They smoke.
Right.
Yep. And they
Yeah.
will smoke you. And
Yeah.
I'm sure all the military people watching these episodes, they know what the word smoke you means. They know what
Yes.
that means. Run.
Now I'm watching many of the changes that are happening in the military today, and I strongly disagree with a lot of those changes because I think it's weakening our resolve and our defense of this country. But that's something for the politicians to work out, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else do you have coming up besides the one movie that you're gonna be shooting in July? You got
So I have the western I'm shooting next year, heading west, and giggles. Those are the only two that I'm really working on right now. I mean, we'll do small shorts here and there throughout the year. Oh, I forgot. We're starting a small TV show called T Bone and Kmart. Okay. And the TV show is about a couple of middle aged stoners sitting around and having conversations about marijuana and life in general. It is very uncouth. It is kind of like Cheech and Chong meets the modern world.
like half baked. I tell you,
Yeah,
that friggin' movie killed me when I watched that movie. That friggin' scene where he quits. You remember that movie, Half
I
Baked?
do.
He
I
quits.
do.
He's like, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out." You know what I mean?
Right.
I lost it when I seen that. I was like, "Oh my god, who's coming with me?" That
So
movie.
so so we started this TV show as like a thing to just throw up on YouTube. We were trying to be funny, and YouTube kept banning it. Every
Really?
time we'd put an episode up, it'd be taken down usually within 24 hours. We
God,
made about 50 episodes, and only like one of them managed to survive the purge. So we were like, there we have something here. If they are taking it down every time we put it up and that quickly, there is something to this. We need to take it to the next step.
did you put the
So
warnings up?
it was go ahead.
Did you put all your warnings up when you put it out?
Yes.
And they
Yes, we
still
did.
pulled it?
They were still tearing it down. They were saying that anything related to marijuana was not welcome on there. Anything that showed actual smoking on screen was not permitted. Then we got rid of that. Then they started taking down because we would mention weed. So we had to come up with new ways of saying things like we call and we can't use the word pothead, but we can use weeder and stoner. I mean, it's like it's so
Really?
ridiculous.
I'll talk to you after we sign out about,
Okay,
uh that's weird.
yeah,
That's really weird.
and it got taken down. It was up on Instagram. We had episodes up
Are you
on
sure somebody
TikTok.
wasn't just reporting it to be an asshole?
It's possible, but the show was being taken down off of every social media network we put it on. Yeah,
That's
and it was real low budget. We weren't putting any money in it. Really, we were just sitting around and having fun
yeah,
in my kitchen or on my back porch. But
yeah,
then we decided, let's take this because what we had, I thought it was something. It was funny as hell.
yeah.
And we decided, why don't we start doing this, make this more professional, put it together, and make a TV series out of it. Each episode being about 8 minutes long, maybe 10 minutes on a long episode.
That's crazy. I don't understand that. Like, there are videos on there
Yes.
rolling the shit, rolling it.
Hmm.
You can see them. You know what I mean? So why in the hell would they pull that? I
I
don't get.
don't know. I've been watching a show called The Southern Dabber, and it's all about weed.
Yeah,
And it's up there every day, and they're not having any problem. And I can't figure out there must be something in the wording
I'm thinking
or
it has to
possibly the
be.
hashtags we're using.
It has to be, or there's something in the that maybe you're not clicking when you're putting up the mornings.
I'm putting it up as mature content, and in the paragraph description, we're detailing what the show is about.
Hmm. I don't know. That don't make sense.
Yeah, doesn't make sense at all. It's very, very aggravating.
Maybe
But I
you have to
have a
put a
whole
rating.
bunch of
I don't.
episodes already prepared. And what we're doing is we're cleaning them up and making new episodes, and we're going to be sending them to the streaming platforms. So
Yeah.
you'll be able to just watch them for free on something like Tubi.
On Amazon.
Amazon is a little more difficult because it was made with the initial episodes were not made with studio quality, so we have light blowout and stuff like that at key points that goes against the Amazon's policy for what they accept. I'd have to go through and completely reformat them.
Which is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
I know that, trust me.
So it's probably going to be like Tubi, possibly Hulu, uh, maybe Vudu, one of the small free networks, and we just put them up on there, and it'll run. I'm hoping to have the first batch of about 20 episodes out by the end of summer.
Good lord. I'm looking forward to kinda seeing that. I like funny shit, I swear, I'm a comedy person. Tomorrow, we're actually doing the first segment for the, comedy series that I'm releasing, the Censor This. And I love
Okay.
it because I designed that little thing where it's like the little hand, because more or less it's not flipping off people, it's flipping off, the people that censor the people that like to do the comedy, the people
Yeah.
that are
Yes.
babies out there in the world. So that's pretty much what I did that for. And I can't wait to do this because I love comedy. I do. And I'm a jokester. And I don't know, I got the smart ass thing that kind of comes out of me, and then I've got shit that I just say that's funny. I don't know how, it just happens. I guess it's from growing up the way I did with the brothers, and
Right.
it just kind of comes out. Just comes out, I just spit it out. But I cannot wait to do this one because I am going to round up so many comedians, and if they want to do their acts, they can do their acts. If they want to just sit here and bullshit crack jokes, I don't care because I'm not censoring anything on there.
I love it. I love it.
Wait for this. I cannot wait. It's going to be so great. So great. And nobody can pull it. That's the great.
Right.
I cannot wait.
That's the beauty. If you have a good show and a good platform to put your show on, you can just run with it. And that's what we're hoping long term is to find a platform where we can do this show that brings awareness to marijuana, the good and the bad, and at the same time is filled with a lot of comedy. If you like Cheech and Chong,
I
you'll
love
like what we're doing.
I love them. They're
I'll
friggin'
send you some private links after the show that you can check out some of the stuff we've done. Okay?
they're watching, like, cracking up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Steve, I'm gonna wrap this one up, and I'm gonna tell you thank you definitely for coming on, and good luck with the movie in July, for real.
Thank you.
You know, we're gonna bring you back on, especially to find out more about that after you get that one done.
Yes, and once that's done, I'll send you a screener. Maybe you can do a review. Have me on and then give me your opinion of it.
My opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Be honest. Be honest. If you think it's crap, tell
Always
me it's
honest.
crap.
I'm always honest. Always.
Yeah, I don't like it when people blow smoke up my ass. I want to hear the truth.
Oh, I won't lie. If I don't like something, trust me, I'll tell you. I'll be like,
Beautiful.
you know,
Beautiful.
oh no, I think you could have did something a little different. You know, when you hear them
Right.
words, something a little different come out of my mouth, then that means, well, you know, that's
I
my way
understand.
of saying, well, you know,
Well,
can't help.
thank you for having me on.
No
It's
problem.
always good talking with you.
Oh yeah, you too. All right, you guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. I want to say thanks for watching and stay tuned for the comedy segment this week. Looking forward to that one, you guys. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, yeah, it's over, baby. You said that you love me, you said that you care. You say that you will die for me, girl, but you know that just how that. I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do. No need to look to your left, girl, cause nothing belongs to you. Now you try me, you know you can't run them games on me. Now you creeping, I saw you stepping out with that G, yeah. Say what you wanna say, do what you wanna do, play how you wanna play. It's over, it's over, it's over. Say what you wanna say, do what you wanna do, play how you wanna play. It's over, you know, you know, you know it, you know it. No more playing with my mind, no more wasting all my time, no more telling all your girlfriends that you're spending every dime. You know you don't get nothing from me. It's time to set your whole heart